Hello students, I am Anuradha Kadam and today we are going to see 6th Science Chapter 5 Separation of Substances. Separation of substances. There are many instances when we notice a substance being separated from a mixture of materials. Means what? In our day-to-day life, you are aware so many times we are not able to use the mixture. Mixture means what actually? There are the two components when they get mixed with each other, they are not affecting their chemical properties. So they are being means they are get mixed equally with each other. So we need to separate them out. So tea leaves are separated from the liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. So every day you are in your home, your mother is making tea. Yes, and in the first chapter we have seen the process of preparing tea. So in that we have seen that how tea is prepared, and when before serving we need to separate these tea leaves. For this we are using strainer. So this is just a mixture and we need to separate out with the help of strainer. So different methods we are using actually. So first very commonly used method, that is hand picking. So you are aware when your mother is means separating the insects or the stones or pebbles from the grain. So this is what actually she is picking up that stone and throwing or separating away. So this method is very simple and widely used, that is the hand picking. But where we could use this method? We could use this method where the means these impurities are in what? In bigger size. Okay. So hand picking method, it is the simplest method of separation of substances. This method is used only when unwanted material is in small quantity. Moreover, shape, size, or color of the unwanted material is different from that of the useful materials. For example, pebbles, broken grains, and insects are separated from rice, wheat, and pulses by hand picking. In the picture also you are able to see the person is separating the small stones from the grain. Okay, so this is nothing but the hand picking method. Now another method which is widely used, that is threshing method. So you are aware threshing means what? Separating the seed from the harvested stalk. As the crops are grown, means they are mature, so they need to cut. Correct? So when the grains are mature, they need to cut. So this process is known as the harvesting. And once the crop is harvested, so along with the grains there is some unwanted stalk was there, so that we need to separate. Correct. So this process was done by manually also. It is done with the help of animals also, and nowadays threshing is done by the threshing machines also. So one by one we will see. So manual threshing, when the quantity is small, threshing is done manually. Small bundles of the harvested stalks are threshed on a hard surface. This helps in separating the grain. So just see in this way. These ladies are what doing? So they are actually see they are means the crop was there is a bundle of the crop, and what they are doing? Yes, so they are actually threshed on a hard surface which help to separate out the grain. Second is threshing by animal. For larger quantities, threshing is done by the traditional way. Okay, So what is the traditional way? Yes, by using animals. For this, the stalk are separate. The stalk are spread around a pole, and several bullocks are tied to the pole and are made to walk over the harvested stalk. So the trampling of the hooves of the animals helps in separating grains. And the third, yes, that is threshing machines are there. So nowadays threshing machines are used for the purpose. It can be powered by either a diesel engine or an electric motor. It helps in saving time and labor. Means those two methods which we have seen, so for that the time means more time is required as well as labor work is required. But if it is done with the machine, yes, it saves time as well as the labor. See, once that grain is separate out from the stalk, but still they are mixed. So how could we separate? So this is done with the winnowing method. This is the we can say the ancestors from the ancestors cultures it get developed, and nowadays also at some places this process is used. So the winnowing process is an agricultural method developed by ancestors cultures for separating grains from chaff. It is also used to remove the weevils or other pests from the stored grain. Threshing, the loosening of grain or seeds from the husk and straw. It is the step in the chaff removal process that comes before winnowing. Okay, so in this way winnowing process is there. Now the simple that sieving method. So sieve or stiffer is a device for separating wanted elements from the unwanted material, or for the characterizing the particle size distribution of a sample. So typically using the woven screen such as a mesh or net or metal. So the word shift derives from sieve, and in cooking a stiffer could separate and break up the clumps in drying ingredients such as flour, as well as to aerate and combine them. A strainer is a form of sieve used to separate solid from liquid. Okay, so at your home also you have seen your mother is using that sieve whenever she is making roti or chapati. So what she is doing? She is actually sieving first that flour, and by which what happened? Yes, the clumps is get breaked. Okay, and what happened? Yes, upside if you have seen. So suppose any impurities are there, or any suppose husk from that flour is there, so it gets separate out from that. We are using strainer, correct? We are using strainer. As we have seen, with the help of strainer we can separate the tea leaves. So many times we are using to whenever we are taking milk, at that time also we are using the strainer to separate. Suppose any impurities are there while they are the milk is delivered at that time, in between so many, suppose any insect or any housefly if get fall in that, so we are using the strainer. So in this way the strainer is a form of a sieve used to separate solids from liquids. So just see here how these sieves are used. Yes, here in the first picture you can see the flour is sieved, and in the another, yes, here the person is what doing? He is separating the small sand from the large one. You are aware whenever the construction is going on, so at these places you have seen this means net. Okay, this is what actually, this is the wooden frame, and in that wooden frame that wire net, okay, that iron net is there, and through that, and it's depend on the means size of that net, by which what happen, they can separate out the small sand particles from the bigger one, or they can separate out. See, another very important process, that is evaporation process. So evaporation is a type of vaporization of liquid that occurs from the surface of liquid into a gaseous phase that is not saturated with the evaporating substances. See, as you are aware that evaporation process you have seen so many times whenever your mother is cooking something. So at that time you have seen the vapors. Correct. So this evaporation is the vaporization. So how, means where we could use, suppose two substances which get mixed. So one is easily evaporated and one is not. Means suppose salt and water is added, or what we can say, the salt, how we are getting, by the evaporation process. You have seen, sea means we are getting from the sea water. In the sea water there is presence of salt, and this salt, if we want to get this salt, so we can get it by the evaporation process. So what happened here, the water is vaporized and the salt remain downside. Correct. So in this way we are getting the salt. The other type of evaporation is boiling. Means see, in the first example of the salt and water, here what we are doing, it is kept for a long time, okay, openly. The pits are made, and because of the sun heat, so this is a slow process. Here we are not giving any kind of heat. Okay, so this is the slow process by which what happen, the water is get evaporated from that pit, and downside the pit there means there is a layer of the salt. In another method we can use the boiling. Means here we are specifically given the heat to increase the rate of evaporation, which is characterized by bubbles of saturated vapor forming in the liquid phase. So the steam produced in a boiler is another example of evaporation occurring in a saturated vapor phase. In a simple, if simple example I want, you are aware that at your home pressure cookers are there. Correct. So that is nothing but the evaporation process. So whatever water present in that cooker, what happen? It starts to boil and the evaporation process start. As the pressure of that vapor increases, so what happen? Yes, the whistle starts. So because the pressure gives heat to that whistle, and we can able to hear that noise. So in this way the vaporization process is done. Evaporation that occur directly from the solid phase below the melting point is commonly observed with ice at a low below freezing, or moth crystals, means the naphthalene or the paradichlorobenzene is called as sublimation. So say sublimation means what? As you are aware, solid get turns into the liquid and liquid get turned into the gases. But this liquid state is escape out from this process of the sublimation. Means naphthalene ball you have seen. Okay, normally we are calling it as a dumber goli. So as we are using that naphthalene ball, so what happened? It is in a solid state. It is not turning itself into the liquid state. Directly it get turned to the vapor state. So this means escaping the state of liquid and changing directly from solid to gaseous and again from gaseous to solid. This process is known as sublimation. Now see this water cycle. As you are aware, evaporation process is there. Correct. So see, evaporation process is done. From which places? Yes, as the water bodies are present over, so it increases or it gives rise the vapors in the atmosphere. Simultaneously from the plants also the transpiration process is there. Means the unwanted water is removed through this transpiration process. So this also increases, means this vapors also increases the amount of water vapors in the atmosphere. When these vapors goes up, what happen? Upside there is a cold environment and these vapors start to condense itself, okay, and forms the clouds. As you are aware, when there is a cloud formation, they moves in the way of the or in the flow of the wind. Once they starts to flow with the wind, when they get the obstacles between them in the way of that flow. If the obstacles are there, so what happen? At that time rain starts. So in this way when the rain will start, it will goes again it will get collected in the seas and rivers, and again from this evaporation process is there and it will goes continuously. So this water cycle is very important. Now see the condensation. Condensation process means what? Yes, you have seen so many times that when your mother is cooking something and she is keeping the plate over that vessel, so what happened? After that, from inside the plate, it get vaporized. You have seen the water droplets in this way, they are on the plate. Okay. So what happened here? The water vapors is condensed, means they get cool, and once they get cooling effect, they get turned into the liquid state. Means see, changing the state in evaporation process, what happened? Solid changes or the liquid changes to the gaseous state. From liquid, when they turn to the gaseous state, this process is evaporation. And again from the gaseous state, it turns to the liquid. It is the condensation process. So condensation is the change of the physical state of a matter from gas phase into liquid phase, and is the reverse of evaporation. As I told, from liquid to gases, evaporation, and from gases to liquid, condensation. Means this is the reverse process. The word most often refer to the water cycle. You see, as here we have seen the condensation process is there. Okay, so this one. Okay, this one condensation process is there. So from this condensation process, what happened? Yes, here we are getting the rain. So this is nothing but the condensation process. So just see, the word most often refer to the water cycle. It can also be defined as the change in the state of water vapor to liquid water when in contact with a liquid or solid surface, or means the cloud condensation nuclei within the atmosphere. So when the transition happens from the gaseous phase into the solid phase directly, the change is called deposition. Okay, means as we have seen before, that is the sublimation. So in sublimation what happened? Solid directly get turned to its gaseous state. Okay, now from the gaseous phase, if they get turned to the solid phase, it is known as a deposition. Keep in mind, from the solid, if they get turned to the gaseous, the process is known as sublimation. From the solid to the gaseous, sublimation. And from gaseous to the solid, yes, deposition. So just see, in this way, what do you think? What is the picture is indicating? Yes, you have seen on the glass of your any suppose window is there. So in the cloudy atmosphere, you can feel this, or you have seen this water droplets over the glass. This happens because of the condensation process. Now, the another important process, that is the sedimentation, decantation and filtration. So first we will discuss about the sedimentation process. So sedimentation is the tendency of particles in suspension to settle out of the fluid in which they are entered and come to rest against the barrier. So this is due to their motion through the fluid in response to the force acting on them. So these forces can due to gravity, conjugal acceleration or electromagnetism. So just see in detail all these things are here. Keep in mind whenever the heavier particles are there, in a simple way, whenever the heavier particles are there, so if you keep it undisturbed, so they will get settled down. For example, suppose I will say you, if you added the sand and the water, sandy water we can say, so if you keep it for undisturbed, so what happened at that time, as the sand is very heavier, it is not going to float over the water. So what happened? Yes, it will settle down. And as it gets settled down, so it is actually, means it is easy to separate out. So this is the gravity or the centrifugal acceleration, or in electromagnetism also the sedimentation process is very useful. If you consider the means in geology, sedimentation is often used as the opposite of erosion. That is the terminal end and sediment transport. So in that sense, it includes the termination of transport by siltation or true bed load transport. So settling is the falling of suspended particles through the liquids, whereas the sedimentation is termination of the settling process. So this is the sedimentation process. Just see here. So suppose this is the what? Yes, mixture of water as well as sand and, or we can say soil. Okay, it is the mixture of soil as well as the water. So here you need to keep this undisturbed. As if you keep it undisturbed, so after some time you find that there is a layer, you observe a layer of soil at the bottom. In the first picture you have seen there are the small particles you can see in the liquid. But if you are keeping it undisturbed, what happens? As they are heavier than the water particles, so they get settled down. Its density is high, so they get settled down. And the layer is formed at the bottom. And this process is known as the sedimentation. So after this, the decantation process is used for the separation of mixture by removing a layer of liquid generally one from which a precipitate has settled. So yes, once this layer is formed, so upside you are able, now you can able to see the two layers. Upside there is a blue color water layer, and downside there is the little bit black color soil layer. So now we are able to separate these two layers. Here two layers are formed, different layers are formed, and these two layers we are able to separate out by the process of decantation. So yes, see, the purpose may be either to produce a clean decant or to remove undesired liquid from the precipitate. Precipitate means the here, yes, see, here you can see, no, this is get settled down. So this is nothing but the precipitate. If the aim is to produce a clean solution, a small amount of solution must generally be left in the container, and care must be taken to prevent any precipitate from the following with the solution out of the container. Yes, whenever we are separating, so we need to take care that little bit amount of the solution you have to keep it as it is. See here, so this is the as we have seen the two containers here which we have taken, means here we have taken the two containers. In the first empty container is there, and the another is a container which we have kept that beaker undisturbed for a long time. And as the layer forms, what we are doing means without disturbing the undissolved solids, we are separating the upper layer only. Okay, here we can use the stirrer also or any glass rod by which it will be easy to separate out the first layer from the mixture. So in this way the decantation process is over. Now the filtration. Filtration is any of various mechanical, physical or biological operations that separate solid from fluids, liquids or gaseous by adding a medium through which only the fluid can pass. The fluid that passes through is called filtration. So in physical filtration, oversized solid in the fluid are retained, and in biological filters, particulars are trapped and injected, and metabolites are retained and removed. So, however, the separation is not complete. Solid will contaminated with some fluid, and filtrate will contain fine particles. So yes, it depended on the pore size, filter thickness and biological activities. So filtration occurs both in nature and in engineered systems. So there are biological, geologic and industrial forms. Okay, so there are geologic or biologic forms are there. So for example, if you consider in animals, means including the human beings actually, the renal filtration removes the waste from the blood, and in the water treatment and sewage treatment, undesired constituents are removed by absorbing or the absorption into a biological film grown on or in the filter medium as yes, it is slow sand filtration. So just see here the diagram of the filtration. What is that? Yes, this is a stand. This is the conical flask and a funnel. So here in the funnel, we are using the filter paper. We have to make the cone of the filter paper and we need to keep it in the funnel, and this funnel is arranged or tied with the help of this iron stand. And now very slowly we need to put the water. Suppose in the first we have seen first example, that is soil is get mixed with the sand. So this soil is means after sedimentation. Sedimentation means what? Yes, we need to keep it undisturbed for a long time. What happened? Two layers are get. So just we will understood this sedimentation, decantation and filtration method with one example. Like suppose soil is mixed with the water, and how could we separate this? So first process we will see, that is sedimentation. Here in the sedimentation process we will keep this mixture undisturbed for a long time. As the particles are heavier, they get settled down and we are able to see the two layers of the one is with the sediment and one is with the water. So this is nothing but the sedimentation process. After this, we will separate out this upper layer with the process of decantation. So this is the decantation process. Here with the help of without disturbing the undissolved solid particles, means the soil particles, we are separating the upper layer. Here we can use the glass rod also, by which what happen, on the glass rod we are giving the rest, and very slowly we have to separate this layer, because we don't want to disturb the solid which get settled downside. So this process is decantation. And now in this decant solution also some soil particles are there, and that we can remove with the help of filtration. So yes, here what we need to do, we have to take the conical flask and one funnel, filter paper and our solution, means decant solution. And this solution we need to first that filter paper we need to make the cone of that filter paper, and we have to keep it in the funnel. And with the here also we can use the glass rod, and very slowly we have to add here the water in the funnel, by which what happened, why we need to add it very slowly, otherwise the paper will be torn and the solution come directly in the funnel. So very slowly we need to add here the water, by which it filter the soil particles and only the water molecules come down, or only the water comes in the funnel. So in this way we can separate out, when you after the complete filtration process, if you have seen the filter paper, you will see that, or you will observe that there are the soil particles on the filter paper. So in this way we are able to separate out sand or soil plus water. Once they get mixed, we are able to separate out with the help of sedimentation. Here in the sedimentation we have to keep as it is, by which two layers are formed. Decantation, in the decantation what we need to do, in the decantation we have to separate out the upper layer, and last the filtration. In filtration again, if some soil particles are there, so they get removed in the filtration process. So in this way we are able